Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Thanks for tuning into this video. So today's video is going to be on the Too Faced White Peach palette. I have some opinions and thoughts, and we're going to do a tutorial and some swatches, and it's going to be really fun. So let's get into it. Alright, so first off, I want to do some swatches for you guys. I don't feel like swatching is necessarily a 100% guaranteed way of finding how the eyeshadow is going to apply and how it's going to look on your face in particular, but I think I like to do swatches. I like to see how the color is going to look on my skin, so that's why I do them. Alright, so first up we have Peach Cream, Peach Suede, Peaches and Dreams, and then Cream de la Peach. And those are those three shades right there. Very pretty. Alright, so for the next ones we have Peach Sherbet, Glistening Peach, Peach Smoothie, and Sweet Fig. Ooh, those ones. Alright, for the last colors we have Peach Ice, we have Fuzzy, we have On the Grill, which kind of confuses me by that name, and then we have Peach Passion. Those shades. So these are all of the swatches. Alright guys, first thing that you're going to want to do is prime your eyes. I am using the Too Faced Shadow Insurance 24-hour anti-crease eyeshadow primer. You can really use whatever primer that you want, or I mean, if you don't want to use a primer, you don't have to. That's just what I'm doing today. I've already done that, so let's get into the palette. Alright, so getting on into the palette, you're going to take a fluffy eyelid brush. This one just happens to be the Moda Pro BMX 430 crease brush. It doesn't really matter just so long as it's a fluffy big eye brush. So getting on into the palette, we're going to take this shade right here, which is a creamy white color. It is called Peach Cream. We're just going to dip our brush in there, and I am going to use it to cover my whole lid. I like to just have this as a base. If you don't like to use things as a base, or that's just something that you don't do, you of course do not have to do this, but that's what I do, so that's what we're gonna do. Alright, just dip it back in there. Not too much fallout, or I mean kick up. Fallout and kick up are two separate things. Alright, so next up you're going to take a smaller densed brush, or not necessarily a smaller brush, but just to compare something that's not as fluffy, that has a little bit more shape to it. Or not even shape, I don't even know what I'm saying, but it's like a smaller, less fluffy brush. And I'm going to dip into the shade Peach Smoothie, which is this pink right here, and I'm going to kind of put that in my crease. You can see the pigment that I got on there. I'm just going to put this in my crease, kind of take it up to my eyebrow, not too far, but anyway. And this is going to be a base color on the crease that blends with the colors. I'm going to put some up here on the outside of my eye. Pretty good, super nice. Okay, so then I'm going to go into, what do I want to go into? Alright, we're going to go into a deeper color. We're going to go into this Peach Suede right here, which is a little bit of a more peachy toned pink, but it's also a little bit darker than that Peach Smoothie. So we're going to take Peach Suede, and I've actually got a little divot in there. You probably can't tell, but I got a little divot in there because I do really like that color, and I do end up using it quite a bit. And we're just going to take that one, going to kind of tap it into the outer corner, and then just kind of take it into right in that crease. You don't really need to take this one up too far, just into the crease is fine. Get it on the outer corner. Good. Make sure you blend it too into that lighter pink color that you did earlier. Gonna do the other eye. Alright, so you're going to go in with, this is a Luxie brush. I'm sorry if I'm not being very consistent with all of my brushes. This is a Luxie 231 small tapered blending brush. And you can really use any brush. This is just like a very small, and you can see it is dirty. I am sorry, I don't clean my brushes. Like maybe once every other 3 months I might clean them, I don't know. But it's just a very small tapered brush that's very good for getting in the corners and those kind of things. So we're going to go into Sweet Fig, which this kind of purpley shade right here. And I'm going to use this as a darker, of course it's darker. I'm going to see if I can't build it up to kind of get a little bit of definition in that outer corner, because I do want to keep it peachy colored, but I also want a darker, I don't want a black because I don't want it to be like super dramatic. I just want this to be a very natural eye look. Going to this side, and I'm just kind of keeping it on the outer corner, kind of taking it into the crease, not too much, just trying to blend it out onto the eye. What do you think? I think it needs a little bit. I wish it could be just a tad darker. I'm going to go into Sweet Fig again. I'm just going to put it kind of on the inner corner of my eye as well. Mouse! Mouse! Oh, she's trying to get into the cat food. Yay. I can hear you crunching. It's a little bit, I left this spot a little blanker than this one, but it's okay because I'm going to go in with the glitter over here and right here, and hopefully that'll be alright. Alright. So I'm going to take, oh, this just says an eyeshadow brush. Versanti, I don't really know this brand, but we're going to use that brand right there, and we're going to pack on the Glistening Peach, which is that shade right there. We're just going to put that on the middle of our lid. On the middle. I'm sorry, I'm not very good with eye terminology. I'm probably going to have to use my finger. The glitters in this palette don't work very well with the brush. Even with a very packed brush like this. What I'm going to do, I'm going to kind of use this one to get the color kind of blended over the eye, even though it's not going to be like a super pigmented glitter like how I really want. I'm just going to kind of use this to blend it with the other eyeshadow. Okay, I'm gonna go with my fingers because that's what I really want. It does have some fallout. I don't know if you guys can see that. It does have, oh yeah, you can see the glitter. The glitter does have fallout, which I'm not completely horrified by because I know most glittery shades do have some type of fallout, but kind of pain in the butt because I don't really want to have glitter everywhere. Not bad. Not bad. I want to go back in with that tapered brush and hit the peach suede a little bit more, and then just go up a little bit with it closer to my eyebrow. Alright, so I want to go in with this Sweet Fig color that I kind of went in my outer corner and the inner corner with, and I want to go on that with my bottom, on my bottom lash line to kind of bring that down. Guys, I got a little bit of and it doesn't really want to sweep away. That glitter does not want to sweep away, so it's okay though, I guess. depending on who you ask. Alright, and then I think I'm gonna go in, and if you were wondering, I used a Luxie 121T brush, and it's just like a mini brush. I got this in BoxyCharm. I actually really like this brush. I'm gonna go in with that Passion Peach right there. I'm gonna go in with that shade and go kind of on the bottom of my eye as well. I'm gonna like that. Alright, so yeah, I think I am about done. Actually, I'm gonna go in with, I'm just gonna take a fluffy brush. This is the Luxie 207T brush, and it's just like a fluff brush. Actually, no, I'm not. No, I'm not. We're not gonna do that. We're gonna go in with, this is a shader brush from Julep, and it's just like a flat kind of packer brush. And we're gonna go into the Ice Peach shade. I'm gonna hit the brow bone. Ooh, that's a glittery inner corner. This is starting to become a glittery mess, you guys. Okay. Now I'm going to use some eyeliner and some mascara, and we're gonna complete the look. Alright guys, so this is the final look with what I came up with. I applied my eyeliner and the Too Faced Better Than Sex mascara along with a Lancome mascara primer, and this is it. I think it's a very beautiful natural look. It's something that I personally would use every day. I really love peachy and like just peachy warm kind of tones when I go out, or especially if I'm doing it for everyday look. I love very natural looking tones, so I feel like this is a very, very beautiful look. So I've had this palette for about a month and a half. I bought it when it first came out in January, and it is the beginning of March, and I feel like I have a valid opinion on it because I have used the product for about a month and a half, and I can honestly tell you how I feel about it. So this palette is a Sephora exclusive, so you cannot buy it on Ulta or any other beauty website except for Sephora and of course the Too Faced site. It retails for $45. You can get the Too Faced Sweet Peach palette. It retails for $49. Yeah, $49, so $4 more. The breakdown, I think this palette is a little bit cheaper as far as product per ounce or something like that, but it's not that big of a difference, not that I think. All the shadows in this particular palette are different. So what really prompted me to make this video is because I was on Sephora and I was looking at some of the reviews for this palette, and it only has 3.5 stars, which is very low for a rating on a product on Sephora, because I believe the lowest rating is like a 3 that you actually find on Sephora. Like they don't, like there's no 1 or 2, but the lowest rating is like a 3. So I found that really weird considering how much I actually like this palette. When you go into the Too Faced website, I believe it's rated maybe 4.5 to 5 stars. It has a lot higher rating than on the Sephora website, and I don't want to tell you like my opinion about it and why you shouldn't necessarily listen to those ratings, but based off my opinion of the palette. So I want to go over some negative things about the palette, and then I'll kind of end up more of on a positive note. So if you are looking at the palette, it's very pretty. You've got a lot of different pretty shades in here, but if you cover up this bottom half right here, all of the palettes are, all of the shades are very, very similar. They're all very peachy toned, and even these ones down here, they're very neutral. An inner eye highlight, and then you kind of have like a transition shade. This one can kind of deepen up your looks, and then this one I feel like is a little bit hard to use for me personally, but what I'm trying to get to is that they are very peachy toned looks. And I get that this is a peachy toned palette, but if you're wanting a palette that is very versatile and you can create a lot of different looks, I feel like you're not really going to enjoy this palette because it is more geared to that peachy toned look. So that's what you're going to end up creating. On that same note, this is a $45 palette, and I feel like some people are really uncomfortable at that price range purchasing a palette that's not that versatile, and that's kind of where I stood on it. But because this palette really speaks to me, I create a lot of peachy toned looks in my daily routine. It's a usable, practical palette for me to own, so that's one reason that I really like it. So on another note, it has two of these really chunky glittery shades. These two shades have a lot of fallout. I feel like that is true with pretty much any glitter palette, but with these two colors, with these two glitters especially, this peach color tone right here, which is glistening peach, I don't find that it's as noticeable because my skin is very fair. You do notice the glitter a little bit. You can kind of even see it as I turned my eyes or my head. It has a lot of that glitter fallout, but with this Peach Passion especially, when I use this, it has a dark shadow in it, so anytime I have fallout, I can see like dark eyeshadow that kind of sticks on my cheek, and I find that it doesn't wipe away very easily. It kind of has a tendency to like stain, and so I have to be very careful when using that shadow, which is really why I don't tend to use it very much, or I don't really use it heavily. As you can see, I kind of just put it on my bottom lash line. And another thing with those glitter shades, they don't really apply well with the brush. I feel like you have to use your finger if you're wanting to use those, which some people may not have a problem with. I really don't have a problem with that, but some people, you know, they just don't like to apply eyeshadows with your fingers, so I feel like that might be a reason some people don't like it. So the other shade I wanted to talk about is Peaches and Dreams, and it is a kind of satiny, shiny color, and I feel like that shine, when you apply it, that shininess doesn't apply very well if you apply it with a brush. I find that it plays a lot better with your finger, but after like 2 hours it wears away, and I found that to be really disappointing, and you keep having to reapply it. The weird thing was that the color actually stayed, like the orangey color that it provides actually stays, but not that kind of shiny, shimmery finish that I was wanting to create with that look that day. Another thing that I wanted to talk about is this shade right here on the Grill, and this is not necessarily a good or a bad thing. It really depends on how you look at it. It looks to be like a very like black color, not like super deep black, but it is a black color, and the issue that I found with it is that it is not super pigmented, and it's not even a black. It is more like a gray color, which it wasn't even an issue for me. I found it to be very buildable, which is one thing that I really like, and one thing that I think that beginner people will really like if you're not very new and you're not very confident with really dark colors. I feel like that being a very light, buildable, dark color makes it a lot easier for people to apply, which may be one reason that some people don't like it, because they are wanting that deep, dark color and they're not getting out without having to build it up. But I personally, I really like it. So getting to the end of this palette on my personal thoughts and preferences, I really like this palette, you guys. Do I think it's worth $45? Probably not. I could honestly justify spending maybe $35, $37, around that range. I do think $45 for this palette is really high, especially since you don't get to create that many different looks with it. But for me personally, because this is the type of makeup that I wear, these are the type of looks that I like to wear on a daily basis, I feel like this is a very practical palette for me. I did pay $45 for it, and I really do like it, but I couldn't, if you're on the fence about it and you're like, is it worth it? Do I really want it? Think about what kind of looks that you're wanting to do. Are you wanting to do peachy tone looks? Because honestly, I would say go for it. But if you're wanting more like neutral toned, like browns, or maybe even like really super pigmented colors, I would say no. I wouldn't say it would be worth it for you. I don't know how this will look on darker skin tones, because as you can see, these colors are very kind of cool toned, pale, light, or what is the word that I'm thinking of? Pastel colors. They're very pastel. I'm not sure how well they would look or even show up on darker skin toned, but I feel like the colors themselves are very beautiful. I will say, guys, that the shade Peach, Sherbet, and Sweet Fig are a little bit powdery, but I feel like if you'd use a light tap in the pan, you don't really have a big issue because they are very pigmented shades, and I really do like this palette. So my final thoughts, like I said, I really do enjoy this palette, and I hope you guys enjoyed this review. It is my first ever review / tutorial, so I do hope you guys take that in consideration whenever, you know, leaving comments or deciding to like or dislike this video. But I really enjoyed the palette, you guys, and it's just your own personal preference on the shades that you want to use and the price point that you're comfortable spending. But I think it's a really good palette. I'm a big fan of Too Faced, so I would recommend it, but it's just up to you guys and what you are thinking about getting, or the personal makeup look that you guys are wanting to create. But I would 100% recommend this palette. But anyway, let me know what you think of my videos. If you like this tutorial, if you would like me to do more makeup reviews, I will definitely love to hear any feedback from you guys. Definitely make sure you give me a thumbs up because I really love support from you guys, and leave me a comment because I love to hear what you guys think of my videos. And yeah, make sure you hit that subscribe button, and I'll be bringing more videos to you guys. I'm probably thinking about uploading maybe once a week, maybe on Mondays or Tuesday. But yeah, I'll see you guys next time.